They had a whole bunch of DVDs made by this same company that I guess the director was there. What they do is they make these DVDs and put them in stores so that you will get confused and think that you are buying Transformers, but what you were really buying is Transmorphers.
And it's specifically geared towards the DVR audience because you'll be like, oh, I want to see Transformers, and you get a TRAN, and you say, like, oh, Transmorphers pops up. And so even if you mistakenly order it,
that's amazing.
They make money.
Sure.
That's
They
very
also,
smart.
yeah.
I tip my hat to that.
That's
By the way, thank you so much for wearing your hat today.
I always wear it.
By the way,
just in
that's
case I
another
have to
thing
tip
people
it.
don't know about the podcast. June always wears like a
10-gallon hat.
Or sometimes it's those hats that people wear to British weddings. Like very
It's not comfortable.
So the opening of this movie on the boat with this meeting.
Here's what was so funny about that scene. The Asian businessman is having a meeting on this boat. I mean, it looks like they're off of the Gulf of Mexico. They're in the middle of nowhere. And it's played as like a business meeting, like he just stopped by.
Yeah.
Did he take a rowboat into the ship?
Just like, where did he come from?
First of all,
he must have been on this boat for days.
The ship captain is the most passive-aggressive businessman. It's like, well, he'll take a meeting with you, but you have to go out to sea for about 2-3 weeks.
It's a lot like meeting with Lorne Michaels.
That's what I was going to say. He's the Lorne Michaels of boat captains. I don't even, first of all, understand what this meeting was about. They were killing sharks, right?
I thought what it was they were on a boat that had a whole bunch of... they'd captured a whole bunch of
20,000
sharks.
sharks.
Wait, all the sharks were just on that boat?
That's what I thought they were doing was they captured all the sharks, which then a tornado happens, and because that boat happens to be where it is, the sharks get lifted up into the tornado.
Oh, were the sharks for food?
I don't know.
For shark fin soup, maybe?
Or something like that. That's
because it was also all different kinds of sharks. It was
hammerhead,
it was as if
tiger sharks.
All the sharks in the world were at a meeting together in one part of the ocean.
That's why this tornado was really confusing, because you could argue that if the tornado happened there, it would be that one type of shark that's indigenous to that body of water.
But it was all the types
it was
of sharks.
all sharks.
Well, you could also argue
All
that
the
when
time.
sharks are sucked out of the water via a tornado, they can't breathe anymore and they would be
These
dead.
sharks live for days in a tornado without water.
But hold on.
Wait,
isn't a tornado made of sort of water? Like, doesn't it have precipitation?
From what I know of tornadoes, they're wind, essentially.
Yes.
That's picked.
And what do you know of
I'm
tornadoes?
about to tell you.
June was an amateur storm chaser. Go ahead, tell him.
From
Your
what I know-
character, Helen Hunt was based on June.
From what I know about tornadoes.
And I'm not saying I know a lot or enough, but from what I know of tornadoes, wind starts to sort of pick up dirt and debris, and it kind of collapses
You
in.
know nothing about tornadoes.
No,
And it forms like
let her
a
go.
cyclone that starts to move.
Oh, okay.
Wait, a tornado is like
On
a
its
cyclone?
I
own.
wish
Well, a
everybody
tornado is
had a visual
a cyclone in the
of
air.
what's happening.
I will
A lot
say
of
this.
hand movement.
June is
Would it
kind
make
of right.
sense if the sharks got wrapped up in a cyclone? Because a cyclone's a tornado in
June, you're
water.
getting ahead of
From what
yourself.
I know of cyclones.
All right, well, a
But
tornado.
shark clone doesn't sound quite as good.
June, you're kind of wrong and kind of right. A tornado is a violently rotating column
What
of
about
air
a lone shark
Air.
clone?
that is in contact with the surface of the earth. They're often referred to as cyclones.
I thought a cyclone happened in water.
I mean, I'm just telling you what they say.
But
This
I mean,
is
like, I
Wikipedia.
would argue just from what's happened just here. I know you're reading off the internet, but it sounds like June knows more.
All I know is during
The
the movie,
internet.
someone said, "This is impossible," and Ian Ziering said, "No, it's not. This is very possible." And from that moment, I was on board.
Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
So Arita understand that if you are eaten by a shark in that way, where you're just sort of swallowed whole and you land in the tummy, once you're in there, you just die
The
of starvation.
digestive acids also.
Well,
I
it's like
would-
Pinocchio when he was in the belly of that whale. You can do fun stuff in there.